Good afternoon, brothers and sisters in Christ, and everybody else. I want to share a testimony. I just came from the grocery store, but as I was at the grocery store, I'm in line. There's a couple in front of me. They're moving along. I have a wagon that I brought to the grocery store, so I'm at the register. The young lady is ringing up my groceries, and not only is she throwing or forcefully pushing the groceries over, she's not bagging them. And so I said, I want bags. You didn't ask me if I wanted bags. I didn't say that, but she didn't ask me if I wanted bags, but I wanted bags. So I said, I want bags. So then she starts to take the groceries and kind of like toss them in the bag. I instantly got irritated, but I swallowed it. I was like, okay, whatever, right? So then she puts cold food in with hot food. I said, ma'am, I had my headphones in. I said, ma'am, but nothing was playing. I said, you're putting cold foods in with hot food. Can you take that out? She said, you don't have to yell. I swallowed that. I said, I wasn't yelling. So then, I'm picking up the bags and putting them in my wagon. Picking up bags, putting them in my wagon. So then she puts my rotisserie chicken and my 2 hot plates in the bag, and they're just all lean like rag dolls. These plates have food in them. So, I don't want them tossed all over the place. So at that point, the first one, the first strike was, okay, you got an attitude and the way, you're handling the groceries. Second one, I asked you nicely not to do something. You caught an attitude, and this was the third strike. So I said, okay, can I get a supervisor? So if I look directly to my right, there's this little, there's a counter and like cigarettes and lottery or whatever. So I see 4 or 5 people over there. So somebody got to be the supervisor. So I look over, I said, can I get a supervisor? And I did it not to match energies, but I did it so that she could understand the level of her disrespect, of her lack of customer service, if you will, right? So the supervisor came over, so sweet. She's like, what's going on? I said, 1, 2, 3, these things happen. I said, horrible attitude, horrible customer service. So she scooted the young lady on over, and the young lady went over to the right where, maybe like 20 feet or so where the counter was. So I can feel her looking at me. So I look over and she's looking at me, and then I look back at the cashier and I start speaking about her nails. I look back, the young lady, and walked off. Okay, whatever. So I realized that I had left my card and I had to go back home. So I came back home, which I'm about 9 minutes away from the store. So I came back home, got my card, came back up. The young lady is now back at the cash register. Biggest smile on her face. I could see it from the opening of the door. So apparently the supervisor got it together. So I come back in and I'm at this little counter where the supervisor and another young lady are at. And so she was like, yep. Supervisor was taking care of a gentleman. And so she asked the young lady to take care of me. She gave her my receipt and she's like, yep, everything's together. She said, you had ice cream. Let's go get you another. I'm going to go get you another one because we couldn't find it at first. So she went and got me a fresh pack of ice cream sandwiches. And anyway, so she came back, and as she went to go get the ice cream, I pulled up this Bible verse. God told me to pull up this Bible verse that I had read today. It was actually a part of my daily bread, and it is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human matters, so on and so on. So I pull it up. I show it to the supervisor. I said, can you show this? Can you give this to this young lady? Like pull it up on your phone or whatever. I said, can you show this to this young lady? See, the thing about it is the young lady might not be accepting or receptive of that message, but I don't know if the supervisor would take that and give that and share that to other employees. You see what I'm saying? And it could move somebody. Somebody could have needed to hear that. Like, dang, like, what am I doing? And then that could move somebody. She might not receive it, but somebody might. And the supervisor was so sweet in receiving it. She took a picture of it on her phone. And, she thanked me, and then I left. That message might not have been for that young lady, even though it should be. It's for everybody. No, it's for everybody, but she may not have received it, but somebody may. In Jesus Christ's mighty name, let me tell you, the way that God works, if you stay obedient and in alignment, my goodness, God says, share my word. I shared it. What happens after what I did, that's up to God. In Jesus' mighty name, I hope you guys receive that. You guys have a blessed one.